My dream of becoming a women's wear designer never ever left me. I applied to FIT and I did get in. I wound up in children's wear briefly. I stayed in it for a while, but I was always working in a room by myself with no windows and bolts of fabric and just cutting patterns and cutting garments. And it was really pretty grunt work, oriented work. And I got married, I had a son, and at some point I decided I'd rather stay home and raise my boy. Decided to go back to school and get my BFA. I was in real estate, and I'm pretty much out of that business now. I retired a few years ago. And I'm home, and I'm busy painting and enjoying my free time and traveling with my husband. My love of fashion, it goes all the way back. It's so ingrained in my DNA. My mother's mother had been a seamstress. My mother and her sisters were absolute fashion mavens growing up. My grandmother made all of their clothing. And from when I was a little girl, I dreamed of being a clothing designer. I grew up in Jersey City, and so we played on the streets. And I always had a piece of chalk in my hand, and I was always sketching on the streets. And I would draw, actually, I had a favorite lady that I would always draw, and she would be in a red gown, trimmed in white lace. And it was sort of my little icon. When I wasn't outside playing in the streets, I was making little paper dolls, and I would design their dresses, little paper doll dresses, and I used to make Barbie's clothes for her. I did try out for Project Runway. You do have to have a portfolio, and you have to have a number of completed garments that you have made yourself. So I had to go back and re-familiarize myself with the sewing machine and making my patterns and cutting garments and sewing, and I sewed up a bunch of things, and I got as far as Tim Gunn. They said they were going to call me, and they didn't. So once again, my dreams were dashed. If I could have this opportunity, I would never disappoint. I would be there on time, do the job, do the work, be a team player, and do what it takes. And I have so much more to do yet with my life.